Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, whether you're tuning in on the radio dial in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM. We're glad you all could join us today, as well as tuning in online around the world. We appreciate you all being with us as well. When I say the name Stokley, of course, many of you know him from the group Mint Condition, but this year, Stokley has been able to show us not only about his singing and songwriting abilities, but also what it's been like for him to do what he loves when it comes to music and to be able to share that with all of his fans. He released a project, Introducing Stokley. We're going to talk to him about that, as well as a single that's been getting a lot of play, and that being the single Level. Now, Stokley is a part of a big event that's taking place in Atlanta this weekend on Saturday, September the 30th. It's called a Night of Classic R&B. You might remember we spoke to Miss Stephanie Mills about that event. He's going to be sharing that event with not only Miss Mills, but also El DeBarge. We'll fill you in on the details of that and let you all know how you can stay connected with Stokley as well. But Stokley, hello to you and welcome to the program, man.
Hey, how you doing? How's everybody?
Hey, doing really good. Glad to be able to speak with you, and we're definitely going to be talking about a Night of Classic R&B coming up this Saturday to Stokley. Before we do that, though, I definitely want to talk about the music for you, because, of course, people know you because of what you've been able to do with Mint Condition. This year, though, as I said, appropriately so, you released a project, Introducing Stokley, where we're able to kind of see not only, of course, your own musical style, but also be able to see you being able to do what you love, and that is being able to create great music. What has it been like for you, Stokley, to see the response to the project?
It's been amazing so far. You know, like it's just feel like it's just getting its legs, or it's getting some wheels on this thing. There's a lot of people who don't know what's going on, so it's been pretty amazing. How everybody's taken to the project, the live show, especially the first single, Level. And I'm just really appreciative and honored that people are really, that it's resonating with everybody.
Right.
So it's great. Yeah.
Well, storytelling through music is definitely one of those things that you are known for, Stokley. On this project, there's a lot of great tracks. Of course, our partner here at Conversations Live is Amazon, so it's available there, but also through other online affiliates for people who may get their music elsewhere. You have songs with, featuring Estelle, which everyone knows, Wale, Robert Glasper, and others. I mean, was that also part of the fun to not only do what you love musically, but to create music with other people that you respect as well?
That's it. You hit it nail on the head right there. So I know what it is that I can do. I know my own vibration, and sometimes for myself, I may get a little fatigued of myself, even my own frequency. So I like to mix it up with the world and people that I admire and respect and love to hear, and just to create some different colors and textures, because it always comes out different that way. So it was quite fun to do that, and then to hear it back is just even more amazing than what you envisioned in the first place.
Yeah. Well, take us back a little bit, Stokley. It's your first time on our program with us. I mean, have you always known that music was that thing for you, that thing that people would be able to know you for?
It's one of those things I just loved doing as a kid. I didn't really get serious about it until I was much older in, high school, junior high, something like that, and found some folks that loved to play music alongside me, and found out that we were a good fit, and it felt good, and those gentlemen ended up being, to most of the guys you're here seeing in Mint Condition, and we just kept doing it. It's one of those things where, first of all, it felt, we just were exploring the world through music, through sounds together, and then found out that it would resonate with people. So as time went on, we just realized that this is something that, it's a real thing. And we, it was a challenge, of course, like anything in life, but we just kind of kept going and challenging ourselves and, playing, put ourselves in some uncomfortable positions, and but that made us better, rise up to the challenge, and the rest, as they say, is history. Here we are. Here I am.
Right, exactly. And Stokley, the other thing is we were talking to Miss Mills about this same thing, so I have to ask you this question. I mean, of course, when you guys came into the industry, the world was so different. In the past 5-10 years, we've definitely changed the way that we're able to find out about things. Social media is such a big part of our world these days, and of course, people are able to watch your video instead of having to turn on television. You can go to YouTube to watch the video for the single level. What has that been like for you to not only evolve with that change, but to actually bring your audience along with that change?
Well, I mean, it's good and terrible. I mean, just like anything, there's always pros and cons to it. I mean, the good thing about it is it's another way of distributing, and it's straight from it's like farm to table, kind of thing. You got the food right straight from the farm straight to the consumer's mouth.
Right.
Now, however, there's probably a little bit too much of it, and there's no filter. So sometimes you get a little bit too much. There are more people doing music now than ever. And so what happens is, and they have access to, when you have access to technology along with that, and then people who have no training, and that's good and bad too, because, ignorance is bliss, and there's some people who are creative not knowing what they're doing quite, and that's great, but then there's some other stuff. There's good and bad in everything. There's some terrible music out there, and and like I said, with that, there's no filter. Before, you kind of had folks that would say, okay, you can't record at this label because you got to hit a certain standard. So,
right.
So it's great in that way. I think I like the fact that you can, musicians have access to different frequencies. Speaking, technically about, like you'd have to spend like thousands and thousands of dollars to get into a studio to do your craft, right. And get a song out in the way that you're envisioning, the way that you're feeling, and it would never come out the way that you wanted it because you're on the clock. Now these days, right. You can get like a computer, and if you know what you're doing a little bit, or learn, it's pretty amazing. And then something that the most amazing thing to me is like to create something from nothing, and then the fact that somebody in China can hear it when it's done, tonight.
Right.
You could send it, and it's out there in the world, and people, it's amazing that it resonates with somebody, and then you're able to create a little portal where it's basically like a little store. It's your own little house, sonic house, yeah. I call it, and people kind of catch on to it, and it grows and grows and grows. So you don't really need that label if you do it right, if you're persistent, and if you're creative. And there's so many different ways to do this thing now. So
right.
Again, then you have the younger kids who are just pressing these buttons, who aren't. Everybody can be a musician, even if you're not a musician, so to speak.
Right.
You play the computer, or you manipulate tones. So it's kind of tricky like that, So, but it's not knocking nobody's hustle. It's just sometimes if you, just like any actor who's all of a sudden you've got all these reality shows, and that has all the programming right now.
Right.
But then people who went to school to really, practice the art of it, who aren't really getting a lot of jobs and that kind of thing. So, the scales are a little bit unbalanced in that area, and it always comes down to money and whatever's rocking at the moment. So it's a lot. It's really tricky, but
right.
For the most part, I do like it. For what I'm doing right now, and it's life, man. Any genre
right.
changes. So you got to watch the technology. You got to be a part of it, so you're not getting left behind. So this is what I'm talking about. This is just life. You just got to roll with it. So there's good and bad changes. So I'm digging it though overall.
Right, and it's great that one thing that I was really impressed about Stokley when I was prepping for your segment is that you have, as I said, you have this fan base even before, of course, we had this technology, but now, of course, you're able to even use it when it comes to I mentioned earlier about turning on television. Even this month, when you were over with BET Snapchat, and being able to show us, behind the scenes of your upcoming single video for Organic. And us being able to do that. I mean, I think that is one of the other amazing things about yourself and the way you've been able to not only stay true to yourself musically, but also, of course, to be up with the times and be able to connect with people where they are today, which brings us to the upcoming event that's taking place this weekend, because one of the things that you've been able to also use your social media for is sharing the live performances you've been doing. What has it been like for you, Stokley, to be up on that stage? And we've been talking about the online aspect, but to be up on that stage and to physically feel that energy. And I was curious, you've mentioned vibration a lot in this conversation. I mean, what is that vibration like for you to be in the room with all that energy at that time?
Well, that's exactly what it is. You're having a conversation, you're having at a higher level, because I think, singing, dancing, all that, when you're on stage like that, to me, performance, singing, dancing, it's all one thing. It's me. I feel like I'm musical, I'm music, I'm, art, that kind of thing. It's all one thing to me. So it's, right. When you're up there, it's like a form of prayer. It's like a form of prayer to me. It truly is. And it's, for people to really get that, they're there with you, and it's like, wow, I'm with you. I feel what you're saying, and you're just trying to unify everybody. I mean, this is the one true unifier, which is music. You don't need to know the words. You don't need to know the language. You just know the person's heart. You know what I mean? Right. And it's like we all have a heart, so I think that rhythmically it tunes in, and then on that we get on the same frequency and we just ride that wave. I mean, that's the most amazing thing, to be there and look out in the crowd and see smiles, see cries, joyful cries, whatever, and you bringing people through whatever they're going through in their life, which is what this project Introducing Stokley is about, to have people, whatever they're going through, to bring them through it with you, because that's what music is. It kind of marks a moment in people's life. When they heard something, they were going through something. It's a soundtrack. That's what music is. That's what films are. Any piece of, poetry, any art thing. That's what the song Art in Motion, I wanted that to be, when I speak about, all these different pieces of like, Michael Jackson's Thriller, or talking about, just different things, the poetry of Maya Angelou, and it's just so many different things. So, I mean, it's I want it to resonate, but it's an incredible moment when you're on stage. Any artist, that's what bites us. It's what bites any artist doing anything like that. When they say get bit by the bug, when people want to act, right. It's the same thing with music. So, because it's such an instant gratification, kind of thing, and everybody likes that, in the moment thing. So,
sure.
Yeah, so sure. It's an incredible moment. It's powerful. And that's why we all enjoy it.
And we definitely invite our audience, those joining us on the radio dial here in Mississippi, and our online audience to get ready for this weekend, where you would not only be able to see recording artist Stokley, but also El DeBarge and Stephanie Mills. They're all a part of a night of classic R&B. Again, it's taking place Saturday, September the 30th at Wolf Creek Amphitheater, that's located at 3025 Merck Road there in Atlanta, Georgia. Make sure you guys head over to Ticketmaster.com to be able to get your tickets. Tickets are very reasonable, but you definitely want to make sure that you go ahead and get your ticket now. The parking is free. You can bring in your own food and drinks. It's really going to be a great time, again, including our guests here, as well as El DeBarge and Stephanie Mills. You want to be a part of this experience there in Atlanta, Georgia. And, we talked, Stokley, about, of course, online, so we have to let our audience know, where is the best place for them to be able to stay connected with you and keep up with the other events that you're a part of?
A few different places. You can go to iStokley.com. That's iStokley.com. And all my other socials, Stokley Official. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat, as you spoke about earlier. And, go buy some merchandise. Got some shirts up there, and find out where my next performances will be. Send me a note, what you digging, where you at. I can come hug you in your city, and we're going to keep it moving.
Yeah. All right. Well, Stokley, man, congratulations to you. Thank you so much for the time. I know it's a busy time for you, and we're looking forward to our next conversation with you, man.
Yeah, me as well. Thank you so much, man.
more than welcome. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. If you all came in late, you missed part of the conversation with Stokley, don't worry. Thanks to our online friends, you all can catch the replay right after we go off the air. The link is already available through our social media sites. So head over to facebook.com/CyrusWebb or go over to twitter.com/CyrusWebb. If you click on the link there, you can listen to the show completely for free and share with your friends from there too. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music as well as a great book. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live today. You all make it a great one.